It's good, like daily walk talk, but just had a meetup with the 1 Million Thriving Artists group that I'm in, creative collaborative community. A few of them are in the library right now. I decided to wait outside. Just having some thoughts about different things with preservation of certain things. The Macmillan Library, if I'm not mistaken, is one of like the first libraries here in Kenya. But I'm thinking with something like a library, what does it take for a culture to think that something like having a location where you preserve books for the sake of just other people coming to read those books is something worth doing? What about human development or human societies gets to the point where it's doing that? And it's not just like a white people thing or it's like a European thing, because there was a time for most of society, even when they were having books, I don't think they had a situation where those libraries open for just regular people to use. You had to get to a certain point where enough people in that community, a small percentage of them, decided this was worth investing in, actually taking our excess wealth or investing some wealth to maintain this for a benefit of other people outside yourself just reading those things. That's one thing I think is it's interesting enough. It's rather important. I think there might be things in there tied to this and tied to like when were galleries invented. When was that valuable enough for a culture, a community to have galleries, to have museums, to have things, information that is worth preserving, to pass on to general strangers, have other people who are not directly related to you. Like it's not like someone who, if I give this person information, they can go and work in my business and they can bring me money back. It's just like, no, I'm collecting this story about this thing that happened to other people I don't even know in this one location where other people I don't know can come and possibly get this book and find something from it. And I think there's something important, significant about sensuous, about civilization, about advancement that can be learned from understanding what are these points where it becomes valuable to do something informationally wise and pass on a thing to somebody else who you might not directly know. So I don't know if that's necessarily making sense. So some of my thoughts thinking about working with this and the projects that I want to go to do, like go back and actually start recovering stories from villages, from Shoshos and Wazés, the older people who are dying off with these knowledge, this information, and adding them to the stories of humanity and just have the ability to have that. And now you don't necessarily have to have a physical location like the Macmillan Library, but you can have like digital things where you have that. But then now if it's just digital, maybe they could have been ancient civilizations that got to the point of advancement where everything was digital in ways where you can't actually preserve it, and then something could have happened and then all of a sudden you lose that information. Like now that you have digital age, I'm recording this on a camera right now on a phone, is there ever going to be a point where now Kenya will have neighborhoods where now, like I was living in the States, you'd have every small neighborhood would have a library there. Sometimes it was tied to the school and the location, but there would just be a library that people could go there. Small towns in the United States of America have libraries. Will there ever be a situation where there'll be like villages back in where I'm from in Kisumu area in Western? Will there be ever libraries in the small villages there? Or will it just get to a point where there's like a digital library where people can access not only information from their area, but information from everywhere on Earth? And then eventually, like once we become Solarians, they can even go to space and get information from other planets and things. So yeah, what is it about the society, a culture that makes libraries and museums and things like that something worth doing? Do you have any idea? Let me know.